For our podcast disclaimer, please visit the episode description. Thanks so much for coming back to What the Heck is Happening in HR. Today, we're going to talk about retention. Retention begins at recruitment. Let's talk about your employment brand. It's really important. And if you don't know what it is, why would anyone come join your place? It is your special sauce. Why would they work for you and not somewhere else? Why wouldn't they work for your competitor? Or even in talent wars that we have right now, why wouldn't they just go across the street and work there? Why wouldn't they have transferable skills that could go at a different place? It's your employment brand. That's what you need to be able to define why you. Is it your mission? Is it your belief in what you bring to the world today? Is it just the work environment itself? Is it the opportunity for them to grow? Can they contribute? What is the pain point that places have at other businesses that have the talent you want that you can make sure are not pain points for your business? So that employment brand needs to be stated. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be promoted. And that needs to be out there for every job you're trying to get. Any employee should be able to talk about it, what it is, because they believe it. And that takes us to the employee part of this. So the employment brand establishes the promise for candidates. It says, this is who we are. We're responsive. But then your interview goes on and on and on 3 times over 4 weeks. Is that really responsive? You say you're going to call on Friday and you don't. Is that responsive? You're not living the brand. You're not delivering on the promise that you've made. So what makes them think that it's going to get better once they join you? It probably won't. You're showing yourself now to them. There's an old phrase about when people show you who they are, believe them. Well, it's the same true for organizations. If they seem to be laughing when let's say you visit an organization and they're laughing in the hallways and you hear people and feel the spirit of it just being up, then that gives you a little idea as to what the place might be like. But if it's like a library, or you just see a bunch of empty cubes, or I went somewhere once in an organization, pretty expensive organization. I mean, they weren't lacking resources. They had no names on any of the cubes or offices. And I said, oh, did you all just move into this area? This is new? Oh, no, we've been here almost a year. I thought, a year? You've been there a year, and people aren't even being acknowledged with the name as to who they are and where they work. How did they expect employees to feel even engaged when they're not even acknowledged? So how do we deliver on the promise? Delivery on the promise of what the employment brand is based around the values, how we treat each other. I know I go back to values a lot on this podcast, but it's so critical. Value-based leadership can be the reason people want to join an organization, the reason they stay with an organization, the reason they contribute to an organization, the reason they would give you what Aubrey Daniels calls discretionary effort, that little bit more because they want to, not because they have to. So being sure to create that employment brand, define it, understand it. Why do people stay and work for you? Be sure to distill it into something that can be communicated out on your recruitment materials, when people are speaking, when you have employees involved. Understand what it means to supervisors, and then be able to deliver on that promise. The delivery of it are through the values, alignment with that mission, communication with those employees. When employees know that they're contributing, when employees know that what they do makes a difference, whether it's to the world or to their boss or to their family, they will work. If it's all about you and your ego and what the employee will do for you and your managerial abuse of them, they're not going to be there. If the values aren't any good, get rid of them. Get the values that are meaningful for the organization that you want. I hope you have CEOs and presidents and founders in particular. Sometimes founders think everyone knows what the values are because they hired the first couple people who were there. But it gets diluted. It gets changed. Hidden agendas come in. Egos come in. And we lose what that special sauce is that you have. So recruit well by being sure to be the best organization you can be through your vision, your mission, and your values. We value you listening to what the heck is happening in HR, and we hope that you're subscribing on all of your favorite platforms.